Look at this. This is a bag of Cool Rancheritos, but over here in Europe, we know them as Cool American. Because unlike in America, ranch dressing is not really a thing in Europe. Here we eat our wings with barbecue sauce, our carrot sticks with hummus, our chips with ketchup, mayo, vinegar, our salads with anything but ranch, and our pizza with nothing on it. But over in the States, sales of bottled ranch totaled $1.3 billion in 2023, more than ketchup and barbecue sauce. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. And the obsession doesn't stop with bottles. Hidden Valley Ranch has experimented with anything from popcorn seasoning to ice cream to lip balm. There's even merch. Meanwhile, I don't even know what ranch tastes like. We don't have Hidden Valley here, and the options that we have at the supermarket are minimal and dubious. So naturally, I wondered why Americans are so obsessed with it. Yikes. To find out, I took a look back at ranch's unusual origins, dug into the unexpected company that bought it, and investigated the one innovation that allowed it to spread across every grocery store in the nation. In the end, I learned one shocking thing. Despite ranch's undisputed cultural dominance, all of this ranch is not even the original ranch. Americans fell in love with the wrong ranch. I found it very surprising that I could track the origins of ranch to the moment of its inception. Where it was created, by whom, and why. But before we move any forward, I feel like I have to acknowledge my accent. I'm not from the US, I'm not from the UK, and I'm gonna try my best to pronounce ranch. That's my best attempt. Okay, so the story starts with Steve Henson. He was a plumbing contractor in the 40s in Alaska, and it was widely reported that on remote job sites, he was also in charge of the crew's food. And he came up with something that would, quote, keep them happy and from throwing the food at the cook. So he mixed buttermilk, mayo, and a blend of spices, and the men loved it. And ranch dressing was born. So how do we get to Hidden Valley Ranch? Well, Steve bought it. Once he had saved enough money, he and his wife bought a ranch in Santa Barbara, California, and of course, they called it Hidden Valley Ranch. It was going to be their new business. The Hidden Valley Ranch website calls it a dude ranch. I thought a dude ranch was a place for dudes to get together, but apparently it's not. It's just a ranch converted into a holiday destination for tourists. Guests loved the dressing so much that they asked to take it home, which inspired Steve and his team to sell it as dry mix packets. By 1957, some neighboring businesses were selling the dry mix packets, and according to this article, they couldn't keep them on the shelves. The Santa Barbara Independent reported that it sold more than 140 packets in 2 days. And 15 years later, Hidden Valley caught the eye of an unlikely potential buyer. Clorox. Yeah, the bleach company. Clorox was looking to diversify its portfolio, so it bought Hidden Valley Ranch in 1972 for $8 million, which is around $60 million in today's money. But at the time, ranch was still a niche regional product, mostly known in California. Americans in the 70s mainly used Italian, Thousand Island, or French dressing.
Creamy Kraft French. Spicy, flavorful, one of America's most popular dressings.
So how did a bleach company catapult this hidden so-called gem into condiment dominance? First, we want to know why a bleach company, of all things, was interested in Hidden Valley. Clorox started with its signature product, bleach, in 1913. It went public in 1928, and by 1957, consumer goods titan Procter & Gamble made a bet and bought it for over $40 million. This was immediately challenged as anti-competitive by a rival company, and after a decade-long court battle, the US Supreme Court forced P&G to divest Clorox. But those years under P&G proved to be very valuable. Many seemingly boring products like ketchup, instant noodles, cooking oil have built multi-billion-dollar empires, not only on good taste alone, but on good strategy too. And the next question is how, right? I'm glad you asked, because look at this! It's our playbook on how to make money with a boring food business. We've built this to break down how they did it, and best of all, with actionable frameworks for you to spot on the next pantry winner yourself. So if this calls to you in any way, download it for free in the description of this video, because I think you'll like it. But now, back to our story. So once Clorox became independent again, it decided it was no longer going to rely only on bleach, and it kickstarted an aggressive expansion strategy. In the span of just a few years, Clorox bought the Formula 409 cleaner, Kingsford charcoal briquettes, and after just 56 years, developed the second ever internally formulated product, Clorox 2. And curiously, for a company that must label all the main products with do not consume labels, Clorox branched into sauces. First, Kitchen Bouquet in 1971, followed by that California cult favorite, Hidden Valley Ranch in 1972. The investment made sense at the time. The dressing was a breakout product and it was an opportunity for Clorox to apply everything that it had learned from P&G and take ranch mainstream. But there were a few things that needed to happen first. Number one, mass distribution. In the 60s and early 70s, Hidden Valley Ranch was primarily a mail order business. It wasn't until Clorox acquired it that Hidden Valley Ranch started transitioning to mass retail distribution. According to Clorox, after the acquisition, the company invested in scaling production and getting the product into supermarkets across the US. Second, they applied P&G's playbook for advertising and started producing TV commercials. In 1957, Procter & Gamble was the largest advertiser in the US. It spent more than $80 million, which is hundreds of millions, if not billions today, on advertising.
To get out dirt like that, you should add Clorox. Here, look at George's shirt.
Say, you know, this Clorox bleach is a real...
Really, mister? This is a private conversation.
The New York Times reported in 1967 that through advertising, Clorox often outsold competitors.
If I told him how I make Hidden Valley Ranch salad dressing, he'd never try it.
This dressing's delicious. The original flavor buttermilk dressing with the original taste.
They were punchy and relatable, and through them, Clorox positioned ranch as they go to dip and dressing. Still, their big break wouldn't come until they fixed their biggest problem. Clorox had to figure out how to sell ranch not as a less convenient flavor packet, but as a shelf-stable, ready-to-use sauce. Because without this step, it would be really hard to compete with other ready-to-use sauces and dressings. So Clorox's food engineers undertook the Herculean task of making a very dairy-heavy product shelf-stable. After 10 years and countless tests, they failed. Because it turns out that replacing dairy with vegetable oil and other very hard to pronounce ingredients turns the sauce into something unpalatably acidic. But you know who didn't know that? Most American consumers. So Hidden Valley gave up and moved ahead with the ruined and highly acidic, non-perishable recipe in 1983, and it was a hit. Unaware that this bottle was apparently inferior to its buttermilk predecessor, new consumers flocked to the sauce. As a New Yorker reporter, Malcolm Gladwell, wrote in 2005, "For those in the food business, the lesson was unforgettable. If something was new, it didn't have to be perfect." And what came after that was a tidal wave of cultural hits that are still popular today, like Doritos Cool Ranch flavor that launched in 1986. By 1992, ranch was America's best-selling dressing. But the ranch takeover hit another level in 1994 when Domino's started giving out cups of ranch with its serving of wings, and before you knew it, people were dunking their pizzas in it, and still are. I reached out to Clorox and he gave a lot of credit for ranch's success to a good recipe. But to answer why Europe is not obsessed with ranch, it is in part because we never got the Clorox treatment. The ads, the supermarket takeover, and the flavored everything. It's this playbook that made it a mainstay in America. As for why the obsession never died down, for over 50 years, Hidden Valley has stayed at the forefront of American culture by turning salad dressing into a lifestyle, partnering with all sorts of brands like Crocs to Smarties to itself. I think my favorite product conceptually is the limited edition ice cream.
The more I tasted, the more confused I got.
But the obsession with ranch goes further than that. When Hidden Valley announced in an April Fool's joke that a Clorox sister company, Burt's Bees, was releasing a ranch lip balm, fans didn't bat an eyelid. They wanted it. So Hidden Valley made it freaking happen. They launched a small batch that sold out in 6 hours, and that's the key. Clorox told me that listening to fans and responding quickly is what's helped them create a cultural phenomenon. The Wall Street Journal calls it ranch evangelization and credits the Hidden Valley Ranch research team, which monitors hundreds of social media posts and restaurant menus to spot the next trend that it should tag ranch onto. Nothing's left to luck. Hidden Valley Ranch was once a hidden gem that a small corner of America loved. Today, it's a mainstay in American cuisine, thanks to mass distribution, good marketing, and product innovation. Del Monte canned goods did something similar, but their story didn't end up as well. If you want to know what happened, watch Tori's video to find out the decision that brought Del Monte down. And subscribe to the Hustle YouTube channel for more stories like this. Hidden Valley Ranch. I can't, ranch. I can't say that. Let me say that again. Oh my God, my ranch. This is really not good.